Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked at the ceiling, and thought, why am I still tired? You went to bed on time. You didn't run a marathon yesterday. But still, you feel like a phone stuck at 12%. No matter how long you charge, the energy just doesn't come back. You're not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common things people feel, especially people like you and me. Students, young professionals, people trying to juggle life, work, and maybe even a dream on the side. So, why are we so tired? Let's talk about it. Not with boring science terms, but like how you'd tell your best friend at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. The one. You're not just physically tired, you're mentally overloaded. We often think being tired means your body needs rest, but most of the time, it's your mind that's begging for a break. Think about your brain like a browser with 37 tabs open. Some are useful. Some are just random thoughts like, did I reply to that email? Or what if I fail that test? Or do they even like me? Even when you're sitting still, your brain is running. And that mental noise, it drains you. Silently. You're not lazy. You're just running out of mental space. And we live in a world that keeps throwing more at us. Notifications, messages, deadlines, expectations. Your brain isn't meant to be on 24/7, but we keep pushing it. So yeah, you're tired because your mind is carrying too much for too long without enough rest. 2. Sleep, rest. Here's a big one. Getting 8 hours of sleep doesn't always mean you're well rested. Why? Because rest is not just about sleep. It's about quality sleep. And more than that, it's about the kind of rest your life actually needs. Sometimes you sleep for 8 hours but wake up more tired than when you went to bed. That's usually because your brain never stopped running. You went to bed with your phone, scrolled through TikTok, maybe read one last email, maybe thought about something that upset you. Your body was lying down, but your mind was still spinning. To truly rest, you need to feel safe, unworried, and disconnected, even just for a short while. Real rest might come from a walk in silence, laughing with friends, no phones, journaling all your messy thoughts, doing something you love, just for fun, not for results. Most people today aren't sleep deprived. They're rest deprived. 3. You're fighting your body's natural rhythm. You ever feel super sleepy around 2 or 3 p.m.? That's not random. That's your body clock doing its thing. See, your body is wired for patterns, something called the circadian rhythm. It controls when you feel alert, when you feel tired, and how your energy rises and falls during the day. But modern life doesn't care about that. You wake up with alarms. Yet chug caffeine to fake energy. Force yourself to stay up late to finish tasks. Use screens deep into the night, which messes with your brain's ability to produce melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Then you wake up and repeat. Over time, your body stops trusting its own signals. You're awake when you should be asleep, tired when you're supposed to focus, and it all gets out of sync. That disconnection between what your body wants and what your schedule demands creates constant exhaustion. But the good news? You can retrain your rhythm, just like how you train a muscle, and we'll get into that in a bit. 4. You're always on, and your brain never closes its tabs. Here's something wild. Even when we rest, we're still working. You scroll social media, but your brain is comparing. You watch YouTube, but you're taking notes on how to improve yourself. You take a walk, but listen to a podcast about productivity. It's like we forgot how to do things just for the joy of it. Always learning, always improving, always achieving. We're treating life like one giant to-do list. No wonder we're tired. Our brains never get to just be. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing. Just sit in the sun, stare at the clouds, listen to silence. No goal, no growth, just existence. That's not laziness, that's healing. 5. The hidden energy leaks in your day. Here's something most people don't realize. Tiredness doesn't always come from big things, like a workout or pulling an all-nighter. Sometimes it comes from small leaks. Little things you ignore, but they slowly eat your energy. A messy room that stresses your brain out. A toxic friend who drains you with every message. A conversation you've been avoiding. A long list of tiny tasks you keep postponing. These small stressors pile up, and every time you see them, your brain thinks, ugh, I should deal with that. Even if you don't touch them, they're there, stealing energy. Want to feel less tired? Try cleaning just one corner of your room. or send that one uncomfortable text, or clear one thing off your mental list. You'll be surprised how much lighter you feel. Not because you slept more, but because your brain finally let go of something. 6. You might not be tired. You might be uninspired. This one hurts, but it's real. Sometimes we say, I'm tired, when the truth is, we're bored, unmotivated, disconnected from what we're doing. You wake up tired because there's nothing exciting waiting for you. You drag through your day because your tasks feel meaningless. You crash in the evening because your soul hasn't been lit up in weeks, and no amount of coffee can fix that. In those moments, what you need isn't sleep. You need something to care about, a reason to get out of bed, a project that gives you life, not just money or grades. It could be small, learning guitar, writing a silly story, building something, helping someone. But when you do something that lights you up inside, suddenly you don't feel as tired anymore. Energy doesn't just come from rest. It also comes from joy, from meaning. That's the first half of the story. We've talked about why you're tired, but now let's go deeper. Because once you understand the reasons, the next step is to take back control. Not by working harder, but by living smarter. All right, now that we know why you're so tired, let's talk about how to fix it. Because you don't have to live like this forever. You don't have to accept that dragging feeling as just life. You can feel alive again. You just need to make a few key shifts. Let's break it down. 1. Give your brain real rest, not just entertainment. Here's a simple rule. Just because you're not working doesn't mean you're resting. A lot of us think scrolling TikTok, binge watching Netflix, or playing games is rest. But those things still stimulate your brain. They keep it active, processing, reacting, comparing, chasing dopamine. What your mind truly needs is silence, stillness, space. Try this. Put your phone in another room for 30 minutes. Lie down with your eyes closed. No music, no noise. Go outside and sit under a tree. Don't talk, don't scroll. Just be. At first, it'll feel weird, even boring, but after a few days, your mind starts to unclench. The racing slows down. The fog begins to clear. Real rest feels boring in the beginning, but powerful afterward. 2. Build energy anchors into your day. Most people go through their day on autopilot. Wake up, check phone, rush out, work, eat whatever's near, crash, and they wonder why they're exhausted. Instead, you need small moments that anchor you, things that give you energy, not take it. Examples of energy anchors. 2 minutes of deep breathing before starting work. Morning sunlight on your face for 10 minutes. Listening to music that makes you feel powerful. Drinking a full glass of water before coffee. Writing 3 things you're grateful for at night. They don't have to be dramatic, but doing these tiny things intentionally every day will reset your nervous system. Slowly, you'll start to feel more grounded and way less drained. 3. Fix your sleep sabotage habits. You already know sleep matters, but here's the truth. Most people don't need more sleep. They need better sleep habits. Here's what might be stealing your sleep quality. Blue light at night. Looking at your phone in bed confuses your brain. It thinks it's daytime and delays melatonin. Caffeine too late. Even coffee at 3 p.m. can mess with your sleep at midnight. Too many thoughts. If your mind is racing at night, your body can't fully rest. Try this bedtime routine for just 1 week. No screens, 30 minutes before sleep. Write down everything on your mind before bed. Brain dump. Dim your room lights 1 hour before sleeping. Try gentle music or even white noise. You'll wake up with less mental fog and less ugh in your soul. 4. Protect your peace like it's sacred. This one might be the hardest, but it's the most powerful. Some of your tiredness doesn't come from sleep. It comes from people, from pressure, from pretending. You're exhausted because you're constantly performing. Saying yes when you want to say no, smiling when you want to cry, being strong when you feel like breaking. That's real energy loss, emotional burnout. So let this be your reminder. You don't have to reply to every message instantly. You can unfollow people who make you feel less than. You can cancel plans when you're not okay. You can rest before you crash, not just after. Your peace is not selfish. It's your fuel. Protect it like your life depends on it, because honestly, it kind of does. 5. Let yourself do less without guilt. We live in a world that celebrates hustle, grind, nonstop productivity. But here's the quiet truth. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to pause. Not forever, just long enough to catch your breath, to think, to feel, to listen to your own heart. You don't always need to be chasing the next goal. Sometimes you need to just be, breathe, stretch, laugh, sit in silence, say no, do one thing today, not 10. You don't need to earn rest. You deserve it because you're human. 6. Reconnect with something that makes you feel alive. Let's be real. One reason you're tired is because you're stuck in a loop. Wake up, survive the day, go to bed, repeat. What's missing? Inspiration, joy, meaning. You need something that makes your heart beat faster, that lights a fire inside you. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be real. Something that reminds you, I'm more than just tired, I'm still alive. Try picking up an old hobby, starting a small project that excites you, helping someone without expecting anything back, going on a spontaneous trip, even if it's just to a new cafe. Life is not just about surviving, it's about feeling something again. 7. Be kind to yourself, like you would to a best friend. Maybe the most important reason you're tired is because you're too hard on yourself. You beat yourself up for not doing enough. You shame yourself for being lazy. You compare yourself to people who look like they have it all together. But guess what? Nobody has it all together. We're all tired, all figuring it out. And the best thing you can do is treat yourself gently. Talk to yourself like you'd talk to your best friend. Would you call them weak for needing a break? Would you tell them they're a failure for feeling lost? No. You'd tell them, it's okay, you're doing your best, take your time. So say that to yourself and mean it. Final words. You're tired, not because you're weak, but because you've been strong for too long, without enough support. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to take care of yourself now. Not in a perfect way, but in a real way. Start small. One deep breath, one less obligation, one moment of stillness, one act of kindness toward yourself. Bit by bit, your energy will return. And one day, you'll wake up, stretch your arms, and feel something new. Not dread, not exhaustion, but lightness, hope, maybe even excitement. And when that day comes, you'll smile, because you'll know you didn't just survive your tiredness, you rose from it.